everybody, welcome to the Dex where we cover trivia and strategy for a different Pokemon each week. I'm PokeKellz.
And I'm Factory Head Alex.
Okay, I'll buy it. What's going on, Boogie? Got a headache?
Not exactly, I'm more like trying to stop mushrooms from growing out of my head.
Ew, gross. What? Why?
Well, I was reading about this week's Pokemon and I started having flashbacks to The Last of Us and now I'm just a little freaked out, that's all.
Oh, well, don't worry, as you're soon gonna find out. Mushrooms are amazing and the science behind this design is awesome and fun.
It is?
Sure. Now get your hands off your head and look sharp. We've got a Pokemon to cover, and it's Parasect.
Ugh.
Parasect is the mushroom Pokemon from Gen 1, and he evolves from Paras. His name comes from when you smoosh parasite and insect together, which is actually a perfect description of this spookier than it seems Pokemon.
Yup. See, the reason I'm freaking out is that it's a parasite-host pair where the parasite has completely taken over the host's neurological function. When the mushroom on its back extracts all the life it can, it leaves more spores on Parasect's eggs, so the babies are already infected. Fun.
Oh, stop! This is amazing! It forces its host to tap into the roots of trees for nutrients, sucking whole trees dry and then moving on to the next. And then it hides in dark, damp places to help it grow. These are some needy mushrooms, man, and the Pokedex says Parasect only does this because the parasite says so.
Seriously, dudes, look at the change in Paras and Parasect's eyes. When the mushroom takes over, Parasect literally loses the ability to think and just does whatever the mushroom says. Gives those very pure white eyes a very sinister vibe in context. Like, it's pretty evil, right?
Dude, yeah, totally evil, but also not totally some crazy BS either.
See, I told you.
Oh, fine. Okay, it is a little bit creepy, but as you'll soon see, true as it is, we humans have nothing to worry about.
We don't?
Well, at least not yet. Oh, come on, get a hold of yourself. We still gotta do this week's ridiculous segment.
Oh yeah, okay.
All right, so buckle up, because it's time for some Pokemon Entomology, Mush Boys edition. The mushrooms that live on Paras and Parasect have been identified in the canon as Tochikaso mushrooms, which are known as Ophiocordyceps sinensis, or the caterpillar fungus, because each species of cordyceps mushroom has a specific target, and in the real world, this one goes after caterpillars.
An adult mushroom releases a spore which floats around in the air until it lands on a caterpillar, in this case the larva of the ghost moth, and then it begins to slowly take over the caterpillar's mind. It forces it to burrow 2 to 5 centimeters below the surface and stand in the hole it made vertically with its head poking up.
And then it literally just sits there until it dies. Once that happens, the spores grow right out of the caterpillar's face and into a twisty, black, evil-looking mushroom that releases its own spores and starts the whole vicious cycle all over again.
For some reason, the caterpillar corpse with a mushroom sticking out of its face is a commonly used medicinal mushroom in traditional Chinese medicine, partially because the merging of two forms of life are reminiscent of yin and yang. For me though, I'm out. I wouldn't eat a mind control mushroom even just for caterpillars. It's not me. It's not how I do it.
Oh right, but then wait, if the Tochikaso can only infect ghost moth larvae, then how did it end up inside the bug that would be Parasect? And what is that thing anyway, like a cicada nymph? And how come its fungal life cycle doesn't act like the Tochikaso? Why would it change species to enslave?
Well, maybe it was just an unlucky mutation? Maybe the insect part of Parasect found a way to stay alive instead of dying like the caterpillar, and fungus just went for it because it was a better way to spread around its spores? I don't know.
Yeah, and then the fact that the Tochikaso commands its host to then be a parasite for the trees they swarm, it really becomes an endless nutrient tribute ladder all the way back to the Taken King himself, Tochikaso. So by choosing a new host, it has a better chance of life. Super creep zone. Okay, maybe they are a little bit scary.
Wait, maybe they are?
Just forget I said that, you baby head.
What? Baby head?
Actually, yeah, yes, baby head.
Damn, I'm not even really scared about the mushrooms anymore. Now I'm just confused.
Whatever, dude. Hey, go teach the people about those battle strats.
Oh yeah, Gen 6 Parasect strat, start right now!
Pokemon!
So I'm gonna give it to you straight. Parasect is not a super great competitive battler. You probably guessed that. However, he is one of the few Pokemon with access to Spore, so I say heck with it. Anybody can be a cool guy if you believe in him. Start with an impish one and super train it in HP and defense.
Spore puts your opponent to sleep, and even better, it does it with perfect accuracy. So as long as you can take one hit and get Spore out, Synthesis is a pretty safe way to get a lot of that HP back in the bank. And why not give them leftovers too while you're at it?
You can also use his ability Dry Skin to try and instantly get some HP back by switching in on a water move, but be careful of players who will try and trick you with Taunt. Just in case, throw Seed Bomb on there for an actual attack with some decent stab damage.
And finally, in the last slot, go with Knockoff. It's a great wildcard move and can really be a problem for Pokemon who are very dependent on their hold items. Looking at you, Eviolite Dusclops.
And that's it. Of course, that's not the only way to train a Parasect, so as always, here are a few random thoughts.
If you're playing Parasect in the proper Smogon tier, it might be fun to try an agility and sword stance set. People won't expect it, and Spore's still in the mix, and you can probably make some people pretty angry.
Along those lines, swap Seed Bomb for X-Scissor if you're more worried about grass types. It's pretty much an either-or situation, so just use whichever one feels comfortable.
And finally, Spore combos well with a ton of team support moves, especially things like aromatherapy. Sure, there's more efficient ways to use a Parasect, but maybe you RP yours as a cleric, and that's just as valid reason as any.
And that's it. Parasect, surprisingly creepy for something so commonly overlooked.
For another whole hour of the deck, click here to listen to the most recent episode of our weekly Dex podcast, or click here for more trivia and strategy about bug-type Pokemon.
And for those of you who subscribe to us, thank you so much. Without you, we'd just be screaming Pokemon facts at nobody from inside our apartment. I'm Factory Head Alex.
And I'm PokeKellz. Oh, I just got your trainer class.
Gross, right?
Ooh, creepy. Anyway, tune in next week for a sky-high episode of
The Dex.